Hello, everybody, and welcome to MangaPod. We are a weekly podcast in which we all get together to read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss those friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. I am Erin of HappiLeeErin, your host, and with me are two of my three lovely co-hosts, as well as a very, very special guest. We will go around clockwise according to the layout, starting with Dodger. Yeah! Pretend to drink from your Titan head. Just staring at you. Wait, Dodger is muted? No, she's not. Oh, butts. Okay, guys, do your intro again. For some reason,
Oh, all of us were muted?
Awesome.
For some reason, it muted you guys. I don't know. Go ahead, do it again. You guys are really pretty. Great.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dodger. I'm real excited to be here. If you've watched MangaPod before, you know who I am. In that case, man, I nailed it much better the first time. Look.
So was all of us muted?
If you're coming
Yeah, all
back,
three of you, except me.
if this is not your first time having MangaPod, welcome back. And if this is your first time having MangaPod, welcome to MangaPod. These sort of issues happen all the time. So I hope you're excited. And we're going to talk about mangas with friendship. And it's going to be wonderful.
What's up, ladies and gents? My name's Lou from
See, we're
Bible
all
Window.
I'm sorry!
I'm feeling frazzled. Being muted has disrupted me. I'm just gonna be quiet and drink. Dakota.
Oh man. So, and I'm Dakota I just everything that's happening hit me at once, and I already laughed. Anyways, my name's DakotaBroskie from the D-Bar Anime Review, and I could have swore Dodger had a sock right there for a second there, and she was blowing her nose with a sock. Anyways, so I'm from DakotaBroskie from D-Bar Anime Review and Broskie Gaming Channel, and I'm gonna sit here and pretend like I didn't sip from this empty Titan cup a minute ago, and yeah.
No, as far as they know, it was
They
full
thought it was
a minute
full.
ago.
Oh,
They
I fucked it
didn't
up.
hear you.
I spoiled
You
myself.
But-
broke the illusion.
I broke the illusion.
You're like the opposite of David Copperfield.
My journey
Wait!
begins.
Now this is not my fault. Dodger, you're muted for me again.
I muted myself while I was blowing my nose.
Like, I could have swore that was a sock you picked up and started blowing your nose, which weirded me out.
Perfect.
Okay.
Purper.
Turr-purr-purr.
Well, yes, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. As made us, Yoku is not here. As we announced last week, he is out with a family medical emergency, so he's going to be on an indefinite hiatus, and we send him all of the love, and also we send him all of the birthday wishes, because it was his birthday this past week, and this was supposed to be his birthday pod, but since he couldn't be here, we decided to postpone the manga that he wanted to read, which was Vagabond, which is really sad, because I know a ton of people have been wanting us to read that. But instead what we read was Psychometrer Eiji, which was recommended to us and picked for us by Alex from the MangaPod IndieGoGo. And I know he is here in the chat. He's really excited to see us talk about it, so that's super exciting. We thank you so much for supporting our MangaPod IndieGoGo and for recommending this to us. So, we read volumes 1 through 3 of this. If you've never joined us for a manga pod before, what we like to do is give you a short spoiler-free description of the manga we read, aka a summary, which will be read by the lovely DakotaBroskie, and then we'll give you our short spoiler-free recommendations, whether we believe you should spend time reading the manga or not. That way, if you do not want to stick through the spoilers, then you can listen to us give our recommendations and then take your leave, go read the manga and then come back and watch this on the VOD of this on my channel right here, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. So, Dakota.
Yo, okay, so let's do this. All right. He does not do well at school. He has no girlfriend, but he has never lost a fight. This is Yu Yu Hakusho. Wait, sorry. He's a typical high school delinquent, and his name is Eiji-sama. True, he has special powers, but keeps them to himself. You see, he can read incidents and memories from the past that he touches from people or things. Yes, he is a psychometric powers. Or he has them. Not he is one. Ryoko Shima, an expert profile, finds out that Eji's powers have put him into an ordinary life of a high school student. Persuades Shima... Persuaded by Shima's charm, Eji helps her investigate fuck, I fucked up that word. On unsolved homicides. He has powers, and he goes out and helps with his powers, and mysteries are solved.
Yeah,
And-
Dakota!
Yay, Dakota!
Yo, I messed
Truly
up
a master of the
investigation.
English language.
Like, I don't
Oh, it
know.
was
Like, I said
beautiful.
investigation. I got to the first T, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I got this shit. Then I got to the second T, and I'm like, I fucked it up.
Those T's, man. Those T's will really screw you over.
True.
Yes, so that is our spoiler-free description. So let's jump into spoiler-free recommendations. Would anybody like to go first? If not, I can go first. Dakota?
If you missed the 90s, read this manga. It was actually... that's honestly my own... I'm kidding. I have an honest opinion. Honestly, this show was... This manga was... It was hard to pick up for me, but I think once you get past that and you start to like what's going on, it's not really... It has long kind of arcs to it, or long chapters into its arcs. So if you like that, you definitely can keep with the story if you get into it. So if you're a fan of mysteries and plot twists in the 90s, head into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah. I recommend it as well. I think it's really, really fun for what we read. I don't think it touched me or moved me or is one of my favorite series ever, but I do think it's a really entertaining series, especially if you enjoy crime, drama, supernatural series. It's really like Criminal Minds or Ghost Whisperer, like we were talking about during soundtrack. If you enjoy those kind of series, you're gonna really enjoy this manga. And if you enjoy 90s, you're gonna definitely enjoy this manga. And I think that I really appreciated reading it because I know it's not one that I would have gone and read if I hadn't been recommended it. And I thought it was really fun, and I'm happy that I read it. I didn't feel like my time was wasted. Like I said, I wouldn't necessarily like list it as a favorite, but I thought it was a lot of fun, and I do think a lot of people would get enjoyment out of it and should go take time to read it for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'll go. I had fun with it after the first volume. So I'll say that much. Once it actually got up and running, I would say it's a pretty decent experience. It is very, very 90s. But I would say that if you're going to read a 90s manga, look elsewhere. There's a lot of better manga that will give you the exact same feeling. So yeah, that's my basic thoughts on it. It was all right. I had fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
It made me laugh out loud, which is something that I don't do often with manga.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I would say pretty much the same thing that everybody else said. It was fun. It was like a fun romp. And yeah, there were lots of really good like one panel things that were hilarious.
We lost the camera.
Oh no.
We lost
what
the
the
Uh-oh.
fuck? I recommend it. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
You heard it from Dodgers Chibi
Find out
first.
what happened.
we can't hold on to our non-mutes, and we can't hold on to our video.
We're just dropping like flies.
Dropping like flies. But yes, we all recommend and think it is a really fun manga.
Yoku,
So
we're falling apart without.
Yoku,
We're falling
we
apart without you.
Dakota, did you, before we jump into our spoilers, did you want to give your shout out really quick?
Oh yeah, I wanted to give a few shout outs. First of all, shout out to Aaron from HappiLeeErin, aka the person that's above me in this video, for 40K subscribers.
Thank you.
So let's just do a golf clap right here. Also, shout out to Lou, which is to the right beside me, actually, to the right of me on this video, for just doing awesome
Oh,
on
she's
MangaPod, man. There she is. There she is.
Oh my god.
I love you, Dakota.
And it's so
Got my
awesome being on the
photo.
MangaPod with you. Oh man, we are bromance. Like, I mean, Brooks comes first, but you would definitely come second. So, no pun intended. But anyways, let's see. Also, let's give a shout out to. I wanted to give it. That's what I was talking about earlier. Was Yoku. I wanted to give a shout out to Yoku, dude. If you're listening, I hope your family's doing okay. I hope you're doing okay. Happy birthday. Yada yada yada. You already know the stuff I'm talking about. So. And then also, if you haven't heard, Monty the 3D creator for creators of shows like Ruby and Red vs. Blue, died from an extreme allergic reaction. So all the prayers and thoughts to their family and friends and Rooster Teeth as itself. Hopefully Ruby will continue as a production. Now with all the sad stuff out of the way and the exciting stuff out of the way, oh my god, the comments are so much. Anyways. I was like trying to go back down to the comments. It was so much.
Yes,
Anyway,
we send
what was
all
I-
of our love to Montium's family and friends and everybody affected, and we think he was a really creative mind and creative soul that the world lost, and we just send all of our love and prayers to him and his family, for sure. Yeah. So, moving on to spoilers section. For those of you who have never joined us before, what this is we're going to dive into spoilers without the care of your feelings if you haven't read this manga. So, if you care and don't want to be spoiled, this is your 5-second countdown warning. And also, if you have read past volume 3, please do not post any of those spoilers in the chat. We do not know if you're fibbing or lying or anything. So do not even pretend to post a spoiler because we don't know the difference because we haven't read past volume 3 and we do not want to be spoiled on anything past that. So you will get banned, which is really sad because you can't be timed out. So that is your warning. Also, chat, please be courteous. You are all lovely and we trust you. So just be nice to each other. Whee! Okay, 5-second countdown. 4,
4,
3,
3,
2.
2,
1.
1. AG is God.
Eiji's done.
Yeah!
Ages. God.
I was like, who's gonna be God? Who's gonna be God? It's kind of
He's got the worst hair in the world. but
worst
he's
hair.
God.
Okay.
Okay, let's just
Spoiler
say it took me
alert.
40 pages to realize that he had a mullet.
That was literally the first thing I noticed about him, Dakota.
Yeah, I was like,
How did
what's,
that escape you?
what's happening here?
I'm
Right
like,
there.
oh, I just thought it was like some background shadowing or something until like I got to the 40th page and I had the good shot of the mullet, and I'm like, this guy has a mullet. Like, I don't know. I think if you were in the 90s and you saw this, he would be the coolest character ever. He had like the baggy pants, the shirt,
Oh,
and the
man.
motorcycle with a mullet.
The motorcycle, right? I love
With the
like,
bleached
yeah,
blonde
the
hair.
I
Come on,
love-
you can't forget that.
how always like they did so many this, which is such a 90s thing, the like intro of characters. So like they'll walk in and they'll be full body shot and they'll be posing like slanted a little bit, and then somebody's gonna yell their name. It always happens in 90s manga and anime. It happens so often with this, where like the next page they'd be like, Eiji! And he's just standing there with his hands in his pocket. Like, what? Oh my god. After a while, yeah, he has the absolute worst hair in the entire world. There's a lot of bad hair happening in this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but his is like particularly
oh,
awful.
his is like stand up.
Yeah.
His is stand up. Yeah, so,
Alright,
so there you go. Spoiler alert. His hair is bad.
There's bullets. And there's also the cut. What's the cut with his best friend with like the shave on the sides and the spike at the top?
It starts with his name starts with a T. Toru?
The flat top.
Is that
Yeah.
his name? Yeah. Yeah,
With the
Toru.
flat.
Yeah, he has a lot of really cool friends. Yeah, for sure, which we'll get into. Before we get any further, what was your guys' expectations before reading the manga, if you had any?
I didn't know it was from the 90s. I didn't know.
That's
what
right,
time
because
period it
Dakota,
was.
I was like, Dakota, do you want to be on MangaPod next week? And he's like, sure, what we reading? And I told him, and then he started reading. He messaged me a while later. He goes, this is so 90s. This is really
I didn't-
90s.
It just smacked me. It's like when your dad. It's like when you go through your dad's stuff. You see a bunch of stuff from the 80s. Like it just hits you.
Just-
You're like, this is a thing. When you see pictures of yourself back in the 90s. I had a mullet actually when I was a kid.
oh my god, yes.
It was pretty terrifying.
Yeah, this was written in 1996, I believe, is when
So
the
2000,
first,
right?
the first one. Yeah, it was like 1996 to 2000, something like that. Yeah. My expectations is I had no idea what to expect. Like, the summary felt very... The summary didn't really, like, give me any expectations, like, beyond what I kind of already expected, I guess. Like, as I read, I was like, oh, yeah, the summary makes complete sense. Like, nothing is being betrayed. I don't have any expectations that are being betrayed by this. And I had never heard about it before. I did look up who wrote it before... or no, I looked up who wrote it later, so I'll talk about that later. But yeah, I didn't really have too many expectations going in for it, which I think was a good thing, especially later on, because I did end up enjoying it a lot more than I initially thought I was going to in the first volume, for sure.
That was my laptop. Is it okay?
Yeah, like, I knew that it was going to be an older manga just because we had looked at the cover, and I was like, this is an older manga for sure.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting, I don't know, I was expecting there to be way more sexist jokes than there were. There were a
Yes.
few, but like I was expecting way more, especially when, when it was obvious that he was going to be working really closely with that woman. I was like, I can't remember her name.
Shima.
I like her. Shima.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, this is all going to go downhill from here. But it didn't really. Underwear jokes. Lots of panty jokes.
Yeah.
But
Lots of panty jokes.
Lots
Can
of
we just-
panty
Oh, I
jokes.
gotta wait till after Lou's done. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
I know what you're going to say, though.
I know
and
what you're gonna
yes.
say. When I first read this, I was like, yeah, I tweeted about that a lot, and I made sure that it was known that grabbed my attention. But in terms of my expectations, I read the summary, and I was kind of hyped for it. I was like, oh, this sounds really interesting, a nice, interesting, and serious story that involves superpowers, detective work. I was really hyped for it. And once I started reading it, volume 1 really let me down. I understand that it was the whole process of building the world and trying to give some sense of who Eiji was and the people around him, who they were. But I didn't really care for it all that much. Once we got into the second and third volume, it definitely picked up. I wouldn't say it lived up to my expectations, but I wouldn't say it's bad either.
Yeah.
It's just there.
Yeah, it wound up being way more entertaining than I thought it was going to be, honestly.
It hit like a lot. It was a lot more serious than I thought it would be too. So at some points in the manga.
It was one aspect that I forgot to mention is that I actually thought it was going to be a little bit more like Blackjack was, and that each chapter is a different story, different
Monster of
episodic.
the
Week. Oh, yeah.
Monster of the Week. And this was definitely like, it wasn't that at all. Like, we had two separate stories, but they definitely flowed into one another. And I mean, in 3 volumes, we got just 2 different mysteries. And so I
Almost
thought that
actually.
was
Wait,
really
is it 2
interesting.
or 3?
2.
It was 2. Because we had
What
Apple, which was the second one, and the first one was the teacher,
What about the third
Mobius.
Mobius.
one? Did I read too much?
You might have read too much. Because we stopped after Apple. After Akira, who was her friend.
Okay, then
Lover boy.
then.
Yeah.
All right, Idol Master was not a thing then. Okay.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Never mind.
Perfect.
Lou, you probably get that joke.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. So yeah, Dakota, what were you gonna say?
Granny panties.
Granny panties. Oh my god, that was so.
That's what made me laugh out loud.
Oh,
was like,
amazing.
Oh my god, yeah, because that was that one of those moments where I was like, come on, Eiji, don't be this guy, come on. And then like he was that guy and he was immediately
paid
punished
for
for being that guy. I was like, yay!
Man, that grandma's got some stylish panties though.
Right?
I know, right?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it was. I
amazing.
love how they
Grandma
like blur
thong.
it in her face. It was like one of the most detailed panels in the entire manga.
But here's the thing, though.
so good. Oh
it
my
was
God.
it was that panel that I noticed something that I really didn't like about the powers, and that's the inconsistency of the perspective.
Yeah.
Like you're either
see that.
you're looking at it from a different angle, but it's still in view, or you're looking from where that was, And
Yeah.
that's just one thing that
Yeah.
started to really bother me.
Yeah.
That bothered me too, because I always wanted it to be like, even not that most of these objects had eyes, but I always kind of wanted it to be like what that object would have seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't always get that. Sometimes
Yeah.
we got like the camera shot from the other side of the room. I was like, why?
And it's
Yeah.
like he has to grab whatever he can see at that small pivot of time. He's like touching it and then piece that together, which doesn't really happen until the very like last minute.
Yeah. Yeah, he has to like get little other pieces of it
It
together,
just like
which
he
is
draws a star.
which does add interesting, and I get like does add interesting.
Wasn't it
That
like the Star of
sentence was
David or
so
something
funny.
that he drew or whatever, and that was on the guy's like that was on
Yeah.
the guy's front house because it was like he drew that and he didn't know what it was, and then at the very end of it, he's like, "Oh, Star of David, no shit."
Yeah, he's like, oh. Well, yeah, with the tree, like when he was drawing the tree during the apple case, it was actually like a map.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like that was yeah. I was gonna say something. Oh, okay. Something I was gonna say earlier. The person who wrote this manga has written a ton of manga and goes under different aliases. So a lot of times you don't realize that's the same guy writing these manga.
That's really funny.
He wrote Get Backers, and he wrote Night in the Area, the soccer one,
Which we're reading later.
which we're going to be reading. And he wrote another mystery that we read on MangaPod, Bloody Monday. If you guys
No
remember that.
way! Really?
Yeah. And so I was like, I could definitely feel, after I went back, I was like, oh, I can definitely see hints of that same like method of storytelling and piecing together information for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I thought that was really interesting. I was like, oh, hey. And yeah, I was thinking about like how I was feeling about it. And like I said in my spoiler-free recommendations, I think that this is one of those manga that I'm really interested in, like Criminal Minds, that kind of a show, but it isn't one that I actively go out seeking to watch. But when I'm watching it, it's very fascinating to me, and the stories, the way that like it's a very like standard method of storytelling. Like you get little itty bits of pieces of like the crime happening, but it's masked in shadow, and then you see the good guys and it cuts back and forth. And so it's a very standard method of storytelling, which is like was visible here as well. And I thought like they did a really good job of it pacing wise. Like I never felt like information was coming too slow, or information came out of like left field. Like it just felt like the very standard like storytelling, but it did it really well.
yeah. It's like the one thing I messaged Lulu about, the one thing I loved about the manga is how the like you said, it shows the good guys and bad guys, but the bad guy or the main mastermind is just a black silhouette with just eyes and a mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
liked
thought
it
that
too.
was
Because it
interesting,
keeps
too.
you thinking, like, I want to know who it is. And especially during the Apple one, I was just hoping it was that guy.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't ship you two. I hope it's you. I hope you die. I hope you do something. I
Yeah,
don't
like
trust you.
that's a really good creative choice, because in a lot of manga where they're trying to be mysterious, it's completely obvious who the person is that they're like foreshadowing. And
Or
so,
they won't even show, like, the figure. They'll just show, like, a shoulder.
yeah, like, or like there are like the manga or the anime that they have where they will show the person full except for just a black line across the face. It's like, oh, who's this person?
I've seen better
Yeah.
censoring in Yuri.
And yaoi, as you were going to say
I wasn't going to
originally.
say anything. What are you talking about? I never watched
You got
Alright,
too many
so
yaoi
Dakota?
blind
Have me,
boxes,
guys.
Dakota. Too many yaoi blind
This
boxes.
is a safe place.
So many.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'll see you
You're in
guys
the trust
next
crew,
time.
Yeah, I would say that I wasn't super fascinated by the characters. Like a lot of times the manga or the anime that I get really, really into, I get really into them because I become kind of like obsessive over the characters. Like I just love them so much and I want to know like what's gonna happen to them, right? Especially with like long form shonen stuff.
Yeah.
But like in this one I was more fascinated by how the crime was gonna play out.
Yeah.
like how they were going to figure it out and the pieces and like trying to put the pieces together myself. But I wasn't super attached to any of the characters, I don't think.
I think, I would agree with that. I thought the characters were entertaining, but I know, Dodger, you bring this up a lot with a lot of different manga where, like, you have characters where stories are happening around them and characters that are taking part in the story, and that was, like, almost all the characters with this felt like they were just, the story was just unraveling around there, and they were there to be like, let's go in this direction now, and that was, like, basically the only thing. And I thought, like, the characters are really fun, but I don't necessarily care about any of them, which I think is one of the reasons that I didn't get, like, hooked on the manga. I didn't feel moved by it or anything like that. So, like, they were fun, but they definitely fit the stereotypes of a lot of 90s characters and stuff like that. I thought Shima was badass. I really loved her. Like, I liked the characters. It was just, like,
she's my favorite.
I didn't care about the characters that much, if that makes sense. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. I like the interactions with Eiji and his friends.
I like Eiji's friends a lot.
Yeah.
Like, just one of them is just obsessed with boobs.
Yeah.
It's just okay.
I like the,
even and they, like, even his friends, like, shoot him dirty looks because he goes too far in his obsession with boobs and lesbians.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dakota.
Oh, I was just gonna say that the one thing I don't like about Eiji is the fact that he is the character in the description. They in the beginning of it, they automatically label him as a delinquent. He skips school, he doesn't pay attention in class, But at the same time, he gets in these situations where he outsmarts somebody, and I'm sitting there going, I'm like, wait a minute, delinquent, but is smart. I don't like how that's matched up all the time. Like, I don't know.
That's like such a common trope.
Especially
yeah,
in the 90s,
it really
yeah.
if
like,
you're gonna
I'm
be
a delinquent
stupid, be
because
stupid.
I'm so smart that I'm bored with the system,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
stop.
And it wasn't
Not
even
every
that.
delinquent is that way.
Like, I think his genius comes out of nowhere, personally.
Yeah, it feels very unbuilt up. Like, just, hey, it's there. And you're like, does it just come along with his psychometer? Is that why he's also a genius? Like, and I think there's times where they try to play it off as kind of a street smart cleverness, but it doesn't really feel that way. It just feels like he's omnipotent and just knows a lot of stuff.
It's like you want to be it's like you just defused a bomb and you're street smart, so then shut the fuck up. No, you can't do that.
No. Or like how he thought, I did think the part was clever when he was following the teacher and he Mobius, like he figured out who Mobius is.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, there's no phone all around. So he, like, uses the spray, like, paint spray or whatever, and, like, sprays it on the side of it. And she drives up and she's like,
it's like, I need a sign. Oh, hey.
there it is.
I was really stupid about that because I was like, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna like make dots while he goes so that somebody could follow his trail? And then I was like, no, that was much smarter.
He just
on his motorcycle, he leans
dots
over
on the ground as he's
just draws arrows.
Look, I never pretended I was smart.
And I wouldn't put that past him though. Honestly, I would have not. If he like went on his motorcycle and drew arrows on his way there, I wouldn't have put it past him. Honestly.
And she would have been like, oh, yeah, she followed it and been like, that was so smart.
Oh, edgy.
By the way, I want to thank Shima for proving that 90s had Moe too.
Yeah.
And I don't want to show you. I think you've already seen. I tweeted it out, and can I share it? A link in the comments.
Oh God, it's so good.
You might.
Does that work?
You might be able to try it. If not, I can. Oh, I can't post it in chat.
I can't either. I pasted it and it made a face, and I'm like, no, I'm not trying to make an emoji. No.
You might have to tweet it, and then we'll tell everyone to go to look at it on Twitter.
Wait, hold on. In Japan, delinquent has a different meaning than in America. How? I mean, I'm not even being this smart. I'm like, actually curious. Like,
somebody,
how,
JC Wigma said that in Japan, delinquent has a different meaning than in America. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. We'll let them catch up and talk and like say it in the chat.
Maybe like the the sort of actions that require you to be considered a delinquent by
Are
society
different.
Japan is a lot
standards are
stricter.
different. in
Oh,
Japan. Yeah.
guys, he dyed his hair blonde. Obviously, he's a delinquent.
He's
Oh,
a
He did
rebel.
dye his hair blonde.
I have
And he has a
purple in my
motorcycle.
hair. I'm a delinquent too.
Let's since we're already kind of talking about characters, Hunter Schlates, I don't know if that's how you say your name, in the chat said, "Super awkward incest drops the breadcrumbs." So,
Dude,
yeah, what's up
yeah.
with that?
She just drew an arrow.
I mean, they're
Wait,
step
dodge your face.
siblings. They're step siblings. So that makes it.
Yeah. His sister, man, like from the very beginning was like, "Do you want to go hang out at the beach?"
I kind of want to hang out at the beach.
I was like, "What are you doing? Aren't you brother and sister?" And then I was like, maybe it's gonna be one of those situations where they're such good friends that they call each other brother and sister, and then they were like, we're only step, it's fine. And I was like,
Kiss X6 all over again.
Yep.
yeah.
It's always. Listen.
That's the
Listen,
incest
if you
loophole.
want to put incest in, just don't cop out. Just make them
Yeah,
actual
just
real brother
do
and
it,
sister.
man.
Stop
Yeah,
being
don't-
weird.
Go full or
Stop
emo.
No
excusing your
pussyfooting
ways.
around.
It's just just
Go full
make
pupa.
Make it brother and sister
Yeah.
that want to bang.
Go
Just do it.
full pupa.
Yeah.
After eat him.
Yeah.
Why stop there?
Why stop
As
there?
she's eating him,
Bring your
he's
family
having
in there.
memory. Oh my God, would it be a thing where as she's eating him, he's having pictures of her eating him?
Oh God.
Oh.
Flashes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's still, like, in those moments while he's still alive, assuming that she's eating, like, his intestines or something. Maybe she's just eating his hand. I don't know.
Like pieces of him, and then later on she could keep a piece. And what every single time he touched his skin, would he remember? Like,
What if she grafted a piece of his skin on her body? Would the skin still be connected to his
oh
brain?
my God, and he touched. Oh,
This is too deep for me.
My head hurts.
All we're trying to say is,
don't cop out if you're gonna do
don't
incest.
cop out on incest.
Don't cop out on incest.
MangaPod.
MangaPod 2015. But speaking of hands, I think my favorite moment in the manga was when the guy meets they save those girls and his friends hanging out
Oh
with
my
the
God.
and then she has the bomb, and then the bomb goes over there, and then over there, and then she has the bomb, and then she grabs her hand, and it blows up, and he has a hand.
Later. That was like, yeah, when we first started reading it, sorry, people in the chat are just like, gross. About our incest conversation.
Wincest is
yeah.
Wincest.
That was, there were a few moments in here where I was like, I did not expect this to get this dark. I don't know if it's because it was the art or just how it started, but I was just like with the Mobius thing when Emmy's who's the sister, when her friend got killed, like,
Oh yeah.
and they're very descriptive with, like, it's a terrifying, maybe that it kind of like is trigger, like it is triggering event. So if that is something we should have said at the beginning, that like there's surprisingly a lot of like warnings in terms of like triggers that do happen in this manga, and so it got a lot darker than I was expecting. And it wasn't doing it cheaply. It wasn't being cheap at all about it. Just to be like, hey, this girl getting killed for drama. It was like creating the suspense and letting you know that nobody is really safe in this world. It does, like, there were parts later on where that started to lead into why are all of his friends around and constantly getting involved and being the ones involved in this.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like just a product that comes with a lot of these stories anyway, just to create that drama. But I did think that the darker stuff was really interesting and fascinating and surprising that they did it.
The thing that blew my mind was when they go into the bank and or it wasn't in the bank, it was the hideout for Apple.
Yeah.
And he goes, it was like Shima and Eiji and his glasses friend, and it was like, shit, I want to go alone. And it was like,
Yusuke.
glasses friend,
Yeah,
Yusuke, you want to come with?
Yeah,
Fuck it, dude, come on, let's go.
why would you take Yusuke?
Then he almost dies twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was Yusuke, I'd be like, bro,
I'm getting
fucking
new
never
friends.
again.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
He, well, like, he got smacked over the head during Mobius, and then he got like almost blown up.
Mhm.
And then he gets thrown into a safe with a bomb and a dead dude and an old guy who's pissing himself.
This guy is like
He's just not.
really desperate for friends
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
I
I
don't
didn't like
him.
Glasses
You don't
Kun.
like Yusuke?
I don't like Glasses Kun.
Your mission.
Aw.
Wait, what?
What? Why don't you like him, Lou?
I don't know. It's just something about the way he acts. Like he has this air of superiority around him when he compares himself to Eiji, where I just didn't really care for. It's just like in a way looking down, but like, oh, I'm your friend. You know, I stood up for you, and just kind of like constantly bringing it up. I don't know.
That's why he's drawn with glasses. 90s
Yeah.
stereotype.
See, if it was now, he'd be doing this all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
didn't do
he'd be
that.
doing these.
He was also like obsessed with Emmy. In love.
Oh yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah, that was also weird.
Everyone wants to bang. That's all we need to know.
Anyway, yeah. And the weird thing, it's like when Shima and Eiji are kind of doing the like little flirty investigation thing, and like his sister's sitting there going like, "Bitch,
Yeah, she's all jelly.
I'd cut you. I'd cut you." You want to say that again, bitch?
Oh.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Okay, now. What did you
wanna
say?
1v1.
Yeah, I thought he was fun. It was just, he also just felt a lot like he was just there to be that sidekick character. If he wasn't there, a lot of times I think about character's necessity to the story. If you took a character out and it was absolutely like the same information could have gotten brought across and not much was lost, or does that mean they're important? And like if I took him out, I would kind of be like, I don't know. I think it is good that he has like that loyal friend there, and I'd be interested to see if there's like something in a backstory that describes why they are so close to each other beyond him being his friend. Like beyond him being his best friend.
Of his friends, I like flat top guy the most.
Flat top guy.
Flat top
Yeah.
guy?
I think he had the most development, really, in all this. In this whole story, I don't think anybody else has had that much development because he has the picture of the girl didn't want him to take, and then everybody leaves, and Eiji comes back in, and he's burning the picture, and like he's crying, and like I was like, he's crying. She didn't want the picture, so he's burning the picture for her. And it's a beautiful moment.
He kept the other pictures though, right?
Yeah, he just burned that one.
Which blows everything out the window. Well, I don't know. It's in the middle.
Yeah.
I feel like it was one of those things where he looks up and goes, "You didn't say nothing about these."
Yeah, I think like I really liked his character and just seeing like what he brought to the story, especially with the Apple case. It was really sad. Like it was really sad. So like I mean, I wasn't sad because the girl died. I was sad because the girl died and these other people were sad, if that makes sense. Because they didn't give us much time to connect to this girl. She just kind
I think
of
how she
killed
died was more.
really quickly. But yeah, how she died was way more impactful than the fact of who died there. But yeah, like seeing him be connected to her and the memories like was really sweet, and like it was like, oh, you poor flat top.
Oh, 4 flat, yeah.
Flip flip. Let's talk.
Actually,
Oh yeah.
oh, so I had a quick question before we. Do you guys ship Shima and Eiji?
I don't really ship anybody, but if I were to ship somebody, it'd probably be them too.
Yeah.
Just for, I don't see anybody.
Yeah, I don't.
Actually,
really
I ship
anybody, but-
Emmy and Shima.
Yeah, Eiji's out of it.
Yeah, I get.
No Eiji.
I ship badass cop lady with little sister,
Yeah.
older
they can
sister.
hit bang.
I don't really know the sister.
They'll be in the blind box.
Honestly, I could see that actually being an ending.
In jokes.
Yeah, everybody's like, "What's the blind box?"
There's no Yuri blind box though.
So sad.
I forgot they weren't
Pissed
here for
about
that.
No, they weren't.
I'm gonna Google it. Lou, we're gonna have our own Yuri grab box unboxing. Yo, instead of Loot Crate, Yuri Crate.
You're
Oh my
right,
God.
now we
No,
great?
guys, this Christmas, we're gonna do Secret Santas. Everybody who's been on MangaPod, we're all gonna get a name, and then we get to pick whatever manga we want. Send it to the other person.
Why didn't we get this idea last year? I want it
I
now.
don't know. This year it's happening.
This year, oh my god.
We do
that'd be
have
amazing.
Christmas.
Can we do Christmas in July?
Christmas in July, sir.
Please, sir. Christmas in July.
Oh my god, that'll be amazing. Everyone's getting yaoi.
Woo!
No. Yeah, so what was I gonna say? Oh, let's talk about the Apple case.
Right.
So we got all set up at the beginning. Who at the start of that did you guys think would be in the end the bad guy for the Apple case? Because we got introduced to all of Shima's old classmates, and like Eiji saw different things about every single one of them, and they were all introduced for having the personalities that like lead you to believe it's them, and the ones that's like, oh, it definitely is them, or the ones like, no, that can't be them, but that probably means that it is them. So who did you guys initially think was the one? I thought it was the actress lady. That's who I was thought and hoping, and it wasn't. She's just like a dominatrix to what's his face, which was something that I didn't expect. Sorry, Lou, what were you saying?
No, I was saying that I thought it was the person it ended up being, just because I really didn't like him. I'm like, no, it's got to be this asshole because he's trying too hard.
Yeah.
And him letting out that he's a psychometer. She wrote a paper on this. Hey guys, remember she wrote a paper on this.
Yeah.
I think okay, so remember how I said I had shipped those two before? So I guessed it out of complete hatred, not any kind of evidence, no evidence at all. I'm like, there's this new character being introduced as a guy. He's hugging her. Get the fuck out. It's him. It's him.
Dakota, you understand me. You understand me.
Oh, I know. It was just like, I would be a terrible cop. I'd be like, oh, you're hugging the person I shipped them with? You did it. It's you. You're guilty.
It's like, wait, that's her son. Nope, guilty.
Guilty. I'm fucking done. Don't care. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. I shipped it. But I did find out, especially what Lou said about that part is when I started suspecting him. The clock thing was confusing because I understood there's connection to like a lot of them had a connection to the clock.
Mm-hmm.
That they're all given the mirror clock.
Yeah.
When they graduated.
Yeah.
So I think there's one more part, and I'll probably let Dodger go first because I probably won't remember it. So Dodger, go ahead, because I can't remember anything.
I don't remember who I thought it was.
There's also
No, that guy was
Butterfly
crying.
Dude. There's
Butterfly Dude.
There's Butterfly Dude. There is the hacker dude, who was for a second I was like, this is
Hacker
too
Dude
easy.
was too easy.
Too
though, right?
easy.
Yeah, way too easy.
Yeah.
That's
But
what I
like
was
then
gonna
there's the
say.
second where I was like, is it supposed to be too easy?
It
kinda
is
saw-
the 90s after all.
I kind of saw actually how like when I went ahead and had it in my mind, like, okay, it probably really is him, and we'll find out. And I messaged Lil, I was like, it has to be him. Please let it be him.
Please.
And then I think at that point I started realizing that they would kind of direct you off of him and try to point you in the direction of other people. And I don't think they did that. It may have been just me realizing it, but I don't think they did that quite as well as they could have in trying to get you to suspect everybody.
Yeah, they
'Cause,
literally wanted you to suspect every single person in that case. Like,
I like how
the one girl too, Akane, I think her name was.
Mhm.
Like they wanted you to suspect her.
I think it's hard when you're writing something like this to really focus on everybody the same amount so as not to like draw suspicion. I think that's probably really difficult to do, right?
Yeah.
To be like, I'm going to make it seem like it literally could be any of these people. But there's usually, even if you don't realize it at first and go back, there's usually like one person where the writing was just a little bit weird around them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 'cause you just have so many things happening.
Yeah.
like the one that was a clerk for the police, that she's not around firearms or something like that. Like they spent a lot of time like trying to lead you with that red herring.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like how they tied up all the loose ends and they eliminated all the suspects, and it felt natural coming to that conclusion. Like you're eliminating all possible options, and then we find out who it is, and then it's just a spectacle of what what Apple's plan is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Justice plan.
Justice plan.
That was the one part though where I liked how he diffused it. I didn't like. Oh man, I was about to say something weird. I was about to say I don't like how he diffused a bomb, but I like how he diffused a bomb. If that makes any sense. Like I didn't like how it was portrayed out, but since it happened, I accept it and like the fact that he was like, "Hey man, it's the red wire," and then it's the blue wire, and the guy goes, "Ha, you're fucked," and he goes, "I got you. It's really the red wire, dude."
Tricks.
Gotcha, bitch.
Tricks.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We're coming up on 45. We're just past 45 minutes, so I do want to wrap up and give final thoughts and ratings, unless anybody else has what?
Is any art? Did I miss the art?
Yeah, I was gonna say we need to bring up art really quick, and then we'll do final thoughts and ratings. Does anybody have any thoughts on the arts other than?
I do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I like the detail in the.
Sorry. Like when Lou started talking, Dakota and Brooke at the exact same time went like, literally in unison on either side of Lou on my screen. And so
Ladies and gentlemen, I need a timestamp. Get on it, please.
4702 or something like that. Okay, Lou, sorry, go on.
No, I like the detail and the full, like in the, like it was just one panel per page. Like those are really well done. There was a lot of detail in it. I was able to look past Eiji's hair and just appreciate it as being decent for 90s work, like really decent, clean looking work. Beyond that, I wasn't really a fan of the art because everything, like with like the same problem I had with Hellsing, it felt really muddy in certain places, and I felt like maybe it was a scanlation that I was reading, but sometimes it felt like it was difficult to keep track of where the dialogue was heading because it kind of blended with the background or how things were presented. So I don't know. That's really my 2 cents on the art. Character designs were okay, I guess, for 90s stuff.
I can honestly see if they made an anime adaptation of this, if they did it in the 90s, I see, or the early 2000s, at least 2000, 2003, before the whole digital animation switch. I can see honestly how it would work with like the gritty color schemes with it. I think I like the shadowing and the details and the boners they get. That was pretty hilarious. That was I laughed. I had a few times. I didn't expect it coming. I'm like, I looked up and I'm like, oh, okay, he's walking away. Oh, does he have a boner?
I thought you said I didn't.
Does he have a boner?
I thought you said I didn't expect the coming, and I was like, when did that happen?
I don't think we saw that happen.
I didn't see it coming, no pun intended, but no, but seriously. And then I don't know. I think I like and don't like Shima's hair at the same time because she has like the 90s like black long like poofed up hair.
Yeah, it's like a bob but long. It's like shaped like a bob but longer.
Super weird.
Oh, speaking of Shima, what do you guys think of the fan service? Like there wasn't a lot of it, but when it was out
like
there, it was
when she would like kick somebody in a mini skirt.
Yeah.
And it was like, well,
Instant
how
panty
exactly
shot.
were they going to avoid that?
Yeah, I feel that whenever besides the fight scenes, whenever there was a fan service shot, it was covered up real quickly with a comedy.
Yeah.
Or a quick joke, or Shima getting slapped, or not Shima, Eiji getting slapped.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was not obnoxious amounts. I didn't think. It was definitely like, oh, haha, very played up more for comedy than anything else. And I guess I was like a little desensitized to it because it was done the exact same way. I've seen it done thousands and thousands of times, so I didn't really think too much of it. I was just like, oh, lol. She was crossing her legs and he saw her under panties again. Oh. And I do like how he does kind of poke fun at the fan service when he does the the author does the grandma. the grandma shot. Like, I really appreciated that. So it was kind of, you could tell it was taken more lightly. I guess I wasn't too bugged by it at all. But art-wise, I agree with what you guys said. I didn't think it was outstanding. I thought it was really clean for the time, and I thought that it fit the time. Like, if I was reading it in the 90s, it's the exact art I would have expected. I didn't think it was anything fancy or new, but I thought it worked for the atmosphere of the manga. I thought the character designs fit the story really well. I didn't think they were anything crazy, except Eiji's hair is absolutely horrible. But yeah, I thought the art was okay. It was fine. It wasn't like I could figure out pretty much exactly what all was happening. I didn't think there were any liberties taken with perspective too much. I thought that there were a lot of really well done creative choices, like we said, with like the masking of the bad guy and how they did that. I thought that was really creative. But yeah, the art was good. It wasn't great, blow me away or anything like that, but for the time I thought it was pretty well done. Yeah. And clean. I liked the cleanness of it.
Yeah.
Oh, and that panel with the motorcycle going through the window looked pretty sweet.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one looked
And
pretty
just going
good.
across his face.
Even though I don't understand how the guy still survived when a motorcycle tire was just like flopping up in your face. Maybe I don't.
You're probably going like
understand
50 miles per hour.
Yeah, like you would have the glass from the window shattering and stuff like that too. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that guy was able to get back up. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
one last thing. His backstory was pretty cool. Like Mobius's backstory.
Yeah, the backstories for the characters were really good.
I don't even think that the most interesting part for me was the fact that I don't even like, for me, the more interesting than the backstory of the characters was the fact that Eiji has to deal with the backstories of the characters.
Yeah.
He can't like just solve a case and move on. He gets inside the head and he sees like visions, whatever. And I'm hoping if I continue reading this, that comes up in the future as a problem.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
Yeah, if it got like super Hannibal on us, for anybody who's been watching the Hannibal TV show, like Will Graham, every time, like the more and more that he tries to put himself into the minds of the criminals, like the more messed up he gets. And with Eiji's actually like legit seeing what they see.
Yeah. And
So,
we saw
like-
bits of that in his flashback at the very, very end of Volume 3 when they're showing, like, how his one friend and him got to be friends when Eiji couldn't control it as well. And so it was literally driving him crazy, and how he was just, like, beating the crap out of people and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a chapter that I read like in the later chapter. I think I read too far though. That's why I don't want to bring it up. But it was a flashback. I'll just say that.
Sweet.
He looks pissed off.
Awesome. All right, let's wrap up and give our final thoughts and ratings, and then we'll go into what we're reading next week, and then shout out our stuff really quick. Ratings. I can go first. I think I'm going to give it. I think I'm going to give it a 6.5, which is like above average. I didn't think it was outstanding or amazing, but I did think it was a lot more entertaining than I was expecting it to be, and I thought that for what it was, which was like a criminal mystery drama, I thought it did really good at being that, and the way it set up its mysteries and how it unraveled them was really fascinating and really good. And I thought it was entertaining. Characters I thought were fun, but they didn't really impact me in any way, which is why I'm kind of giving it a little bit lesser of a score. But I think for people who really enjoy crime shows, like I said a few times, like Criminal Minds, like I think it's a really fun one to go and read and just read randomly. That's what I think I'm probably going to end up doing is like, it's like when I watch Criminal Minds, when it comes on TV, I'll be like, oh, there it is, but I don't actively go out to read it. And because of that, it kind of like drags my enjoyment down just a little, or not enjoyment, but just my overall rating down just a little bit, because it's not one that I just feel the drive to go and read more. But I am happy that I spent time reading it, and I thought the art was good for the time and everything. So I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Yeah, I was thinking I would give it a 6. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Like, I thought that the crimes themselves and how they were played out was interesting, but the characters didn't really attach for me quite as well. So in that way, it was a lot like one of those sort of shows where I'd like walk by and be like, I don't know any of these characters, So I haven't been watching this show before, but you know, it's intriguing to watch that episode anyway because like the crime and what's going on in terms of that episode is interesting. And that's kind of how I felt when I was reading this. So yeah, it's fun. I'm not going to say it's amazing. It didn't touch me. I didn't weep. I laughed though. I did laugh a few times.
I lulled, yeah.
I lulled
Lesbians.
a little. So yeah.
That panel, lesbians.
Lesbians.
Lesbians, happy and free
Alright.
with each other.
I'm gonna give it a 5.5, and the reason why is because the first volume really dragged it down for me, and honestly, it was trending up significantly. Like I enjoyed the second and third volume a lot, but not so much as to outweigh what like just the slog that it was reading through the first volume. If we read more, I probably would have rated it a lot higher. But yeah, so 5.5 for me.
That's good.
All
That's
right.
above average.
Nice. Let's see here. I'm gonna give it a 6.1285.
6.1285. Awesome.
Yeah, 6.5 Mobius. No, wait, did I say 6.5? Yeah, 6.5
Sure.
I don't know.
We'll
It's
round
in
up.
the 6. It's lower 6.
6.1285.
6 point.
8, 6, 7, 0, 3.
Oh, no.
Okay, anyways. No. It's yeah, it's one of those things where, like Lou said, the first chapter, which happens to a lot of manga, but I feel like a lot of manga would have done better. And maybe because it was so old, I don't know, because I know a lot of anime that go are really long in the 90s because I guess the demand for it with the releasing had to be it. I don't know if it was the same with manga, but it's just just the first chapter played way too long out for what it could have been shortened up. Let's see here. I would recommend it, but if you can't get past the first chapter, I wouldn't blame you if you dropped it. So yeah, and I also will agree that if you're going to go full incest, don't go. Just do it. Just don't pussyfoot around the bush here. All right, but don't do full incest. Like we don't want to kiss sex. Like I think the right amount of incest would be good between this and Kiss X Sis. I think the right amount of incest
Yep.
would be good for
The
I'm
right
shut
amount
now.
of incest
That's
would be good. Dakota Broskie
That's,
2015.
That's a lot of ground to cover, Dakota. These aren't exactly close in proximity in terms of levels of incest.
proximity. I need a pie graph on my chart by Monday of Yuri levels.
Somebody call Glenn.
Glenn, Yuri
Glenn,
levels.
get on this.
Yeah, so we all think that is above average and that you should definitely go and read it and check it out and that it's really fun read. Let's go ahead and give the spoiler-free description. Oh, my computer is freaking out. The spoiler-free description for the manga that we're reading next week, and chat can guess. You're gonna get it really quick. Oh no!
Is this an Orin High School host?
Does anybody have it? Does anybody have it up? Because I don't have it up.
My Reddit is broken, so.
What?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, my
hold on.
Reddit is not working, so I'm going to pull it up. I mean, I know what it is.
Oh yeah, it's not loading for me either. No.
Oh, no!
Oh.
Hang on, Okay, hang on. I got this. My enemy list. I'm pretty sure this is the one we're reading.
It is.
The suspense horror / dark fantasy story is set in Tokyo, right? I'm doing right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is haunted by mysterious blanks who are devouring humans. People are gripped by the fear of those blanks, whose identities are masked in mystery. An ordinary college student named a blank encounters a blank, a girl who is an avid reader like him, at the cafe he frequents. Little does he realize that his fate will change overnight. I gotta go. Oh, there it goes. It pulled up finally.
Turns out you were reading the wrong one the whole time.
Wrong one. All right. Wait. Let's see. And, but people should get it right. Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pusher
Pusher
got
it. Yeah. We are reading next week Tokyo Ghoul chapters 1 through 29 with Nick Robinson as our special guest, which should be lots and lots of fun. I know he's been really excited about reading this, and I have been super excited about reading Tokyo Ghoul because I haven't taken the time to read it yet, but it's been on my list forever. So I am stoked to read that. So we're reading Tokyo Ghoul chapters 1 through 29 for next week. Let's go ahead and shout out our stuff super duper fast. I am Erin of HappiLeeErin. You're here on my channel. I do anime reviews and anime first impressions and tag videos. I recently put up a manga tag video, which you should go check out, as well as my DakotaBroskie first impression of season 3. I do all the other previous manga pods are hosted here with these lovely faces you see. And I also do mental health awareness videos. If you'd like to find me on any other social media site, I am HappiLeeErin all across the everything. Links are in the description down below.
Hello everybody, I'm Dodger. I have 2 YouTube channels, youtube.com/pressstart-to-continue, where I do gaming and nerdy adjacent stuff and what I've lovingly been calling anime bullshit. And then on my other channel I do, it's called Dexterity Bonus, and I do vloggy stuff. I drink coffee, I talk about my cats. I just did a manga tag video as well. And, check it out if that sounds cool. And on all the social medias, I'm at DexBonus, DEXBONUS.
Whee!
Yeah.
What's up, ladies and gents? My name is Leo, and I'm from Sitting by the Window Anime Reviews. You can find me at youtube.com/SBTW Anime Reviews. Or if you don't want to type all that, just click the link in the description. It is now working.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't working before. It made me sad.
It's all good, Erin. It's all the love. On Twitter, you can find me at SBTW Anime Review. No S at the end. I've also been tagged to do the manga tag video. But I'm going to take my time with it because somebody has been tagged by me to do a video last year. And
what video is it?
What?
What tag?
It was an anime reviewer tag. It's like a 5-minute video. But, no pressure, Erin. And I'm going to take my time.
Listen, Lou, you get a year and a half, okay?
Sweet.
It's okay, Aaron. I didn't release a tag video. He tagged me in either. It's all right. We can join.
For never tagged you, Dakota.
Oh, for never. Wait, that last year?
No, for the manga tag.
Last
I
year?
was tagged.
No, that's just me.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was about to go. I was about to be like, "Hi, my name's DakotaBroskie, and I have not been tagged for a manga." But that changes everything.
Now.
Oh,
Oh man, I feel so. Oh god, I can do a manga tag video. I have like a stack of. Okay, anyways, no. I'm DakotaBroskie from the D-Bar Anime Review. You can find me at the D-Bar Anime channel, at Broski Gaming, where I just finally picked back up from my vacation on gaming. Where was I going to say also about something? Find me on Twitter if you do feel like it. I don't know.
One thing about Broski Gaming. I'm sorry I have to interrupt. There's one game that you played where it's horror, and it's very, very amusing.
Outlast?
He screams like a small child, and it's wonderful.
Dude, I
highly
recommend going into it. I played like a little bit of it with my girlfriend, and then I was like, I got this shit. I'll do it alone. And I can't do more than 2 episodes at a time. And I just cannot sleep at night. Actually, Lou, I was about to say my video. That was what I was going to say for my final thoughts on my channel. If you go to my channel, I recently did a video called "It's Not Hentai" #Winter 2015.
Oh my god, it's amazing!
I swear that's not my full channel.
It's amazing.
It's okay, Dakota, we understand.
I was dicking around, no pun intended, on GIMP, and I just decided to film it, and that's the result of that.
Oh, it's
so if you see it, it's hilarious, but don't judge my channel for it.
You should judge his channel for it.
Awesome.
And if you want me to do it every season, I'll do it.
If you would like to also check out Yoku's stuff, all of his links are in the description down below, as well as all of ours, as well as a link to a link to the MangaPod subreddit, where you can see the schedule for all of upcoming MangaPod weeks through June, and you can also see our recommendation thread there. If you have any manga that you would like to recommend, you can do so there. Also, link in the description down below is a link to iTunes, which has been updated to MangaPod 68 or 64, one of the two. There's been some problems with iTunes where it only allows 25 episodes to be on there, and I think that's a permanent thing, so we might have to find a slide solution to figure out where to upload the audio VODs as well. So just so you know that if you are looking for any MangaPods up to 68, that they are on there now. Woo! It's like 40 through 68, something like that. Yes, so we are going to sign off and say goodbye. Thank you all so much for joining us today to talk about Psychometrer Eiji. Thank you again to Alex for recommending us via the MangaPod IndieGoGo. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Dakota, for joining us. You were wonderful as always.
Fourth time,
baby.
4 rings,
And
baby,
you have,
4 rings.
You have like
Super
two
Bowl
more
2015.
times. 2 more times coming up by the end of the half year.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I guess I'll see you guys in May if anything doesn't change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
Dwayne.
sure. We'll be here same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time next Tuesday, reading Tokyo Ghoul chapters 1 through 29 with special guest Nick, and we hope you guys will join us then. Bye bye.
Bye.
I love you even though I
Oh
hate
no!
you.
Oh no! My computer is. Oh no!
I really want you.
Oh no! Hang on, guys.
Extra
Hang
long
on.
manga pod.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Wait, let's